Hello. In this video, we'll be covering the very beginning of week one. In week one, the first activity you're going to need to do is you're going to need to register yourself for Mouse Create and get your students registered as well. So this shouldn't take too much time, but it's actually going to be one of the longer videos in this professional development because we have a few topics we're going to cover. So you'll see, you should be on this slide right now, and there should be a video right where my mouse is going around in a circle here. That will be this video that you're watching. But in this video, we're going to cover what is Mouse Create, how to register your educator account, how you can create a group, and how your students can register for Mouse Create. There's also a very important code here called the educator code that we'll dive into in a moment. So let's get started. We're going to go to Mouse Create. And Mouse Create is found at create.mouse.org. And once you get to create.mouse.org, you'll be looking at this exact web page. So let's get started. So this button here, login or create an account. If this is your first time on Mouse Create, you'll need to create a new account. So two options here that you have at the top. You can create a brand new account or join with a Google account. So I always recommend joining with a Google account. So if I click on this button here, what this does is it finds any Google account you might already be logged into and can automatically connect it with that email. In case you don't have a Google account, I am going to go through the manual way of creating a new account. If you do have a Google account, it will connect that email up for you, but there will be some information that you'll still need to click in. So let's go through this process now of creating a new account. Now, whether or not you're doing it this way or through the Google Sync option, you'll see this page. And once you're on this page, you're going to select that you are an educator, and you see, is your site a current Mouse member? Very important, you click this top button here. My site is a Mouse member, and I have my site's educator code. So I'm going to create a username. I'm going to call this Canva Community Garden Demo. Obviously, you'd want to create a different username for yourself. I'll give myself a password. First name, I'm just going to call myself demo. I'm going to connect it with an email address. Now again, if you did this with your Google account, you'd be skipping this part right now. And just going to give myself a birth year because that is all that is required. So I'm just going to do something as long as you're older than 13 years old. That's really all this is checking for. And I'm going to leave the rest of these boxes closed. So I'm going to check off the terms and service. I am not a robot. And I'm ready to register. So this is what you should be doing as the facilitator of this program. So now this is that spot I was looking at before. So that educator code, that code in this slideshow here, this is going to be really important. I'm just going to copy it. And just be mindful that this code is for this Canva Community Garden program and should not be shared with your students. So now that I've typed in that code, I see myself at this page. So you've now created an account with Mouse Create, an educator account, and now you are ready to create a group. I can see a few things here. I'm going to give myself a group name. I'm just going to call this again Demo Canva Community Garden. Oops. Now you'll want to make sure you give, again, a more descriptive name that you can choose yourself. And I'm going to agree to the terms again and click Create Group. Okay, so at this point, I am in a group that I've created. And as an educator, I'm able to put projects in and out of this group. And this is going to be extremely useful for your students to be able to join as well. So now that we have logged into this account, we are ready to build a playlist for the first week of this program. Now, building a playlist, what does that mean? What that means is we are going to add projects to this group so our students are able to specifically access the specific projects we want. So right now we're in Mouse Create, and this is where all the projects are going to be submitted by your students. That's where you'll see these projects, your students will see the projects, and they will upload their work. So in our group we have no projects at the moment, so I'm going to go to the projects page, top right hand corner here. Now this is all the projects on Mouse Create. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to build a playlist for the first week of this program. Now, in order to do that, we're going to find a few different projects that I'm going to open up right now and add to the playlist. And you will do a similar process once you're done watching this video. So to do this, the specific projects I want, I'm going to look for one called 8-bit Pixel Artist. Now this is all in alphabetical order, and there are quite a lot of projects, but so 8-bit Pixel Artist, I'm going to add this project to my playlist by clicking this button here. So now that project is in my playlist, and let me show you what that looks like back on the group page. Now we have our group with one project on it. But I'm just going to go back into the projects page, and we're going to add all of the projects for week 1. So these other projects that we're going to be working on, these are all actually found in the Intro to Design course. And so left-hand side here, I'm on the projects page. Left-hand side, I'm going to go down to the Intro to Design course right here. So I click this little gray button, and I'll find all the projects we're going to need for week 1 besides 8-bit Pixel Artist in here. And I'm just going to add them to my group right now. So what I want to add is basic elements of graphic design. So add this project. I'm going to add meet the color wheel, pick a palette, designing layout, oops, and typography. Great. So just these first 5 projects in this course, along with 8-bit Pixel Artist. If I go back into group, we will see, yep, I have my group with these 6 projects in it. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And at this point, you have set up your account on Mouse Create. You have set up a group on Mouse Create, and you've created a playlist in Mouse Create. Now the first, and this is everything you'd want to do before your students actually get started with this program. So again, this is before day 1 of the Canva Community Gardens project. You want to do everything that you just saw in this video. Next, after you're ready to begin this program, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your students registered for Mouse Create. And the way you're going to do that is through a synchronous call. So maybe on Google Meets or on Zoom, you are going to get on a call at the same time as everyone, and you're going to ask your students to register for Mouse Create. The way they will register for Mouse Create is they will also go to create.mouse.org, and once they are there, they will create an account as a student, very similar to the process that you just went through for an educator, where they sync with a Google account or create manually. And when they select that they are a student, they will be prompted for a group code. Now the group code, you need to provide the group code to your students. You don't want them to use that educator code that we use, because that's just for the teachers and the facilitators. You want your students to use the group code. So where is your group code? Now your group code, and again, I'm in the facilitator account here. This is my demo account. You can find your group code on your group page. It is up here in the top left-hand corner. Now you don't want to use my group code. It's just a random string of letters and numbers, but this is what I have highlighted here is specific to this demo group that I've created. You want to find your group code that you just created in Mouse Create, and when your students are registering for Mouse Create at create.mouse.org, they will type in this group code, and when they do that, they will be on this page ready to submit work. Excellent. So now you are ready for the first part of this program, which is registering your account, connecting it with the educator code, building the playlist, and getting your students on Mouse Create.